Hi, this is Jim Janossy. I'm your instructor for GPH205, Historical Foundations of Visual Technology. In this class, we're going to study art, the effect art has had on civilizations, and the technology used to create art since 30,000 BC to about 1900 AD. During this period, we'll study 27 civilizations or eras, using a textbook named The Story of Art, which I'll illustrate for you in just a second. During this course, you're going to be looking at videos in addition to reading the textbook, and you're going to be doing some supplemental readings in a workbook that I authored specifically for the course, which is free for your download at the course website. So in this short video, I'm going to give you an overview of the course similar to what you would have gotten if this class were taught in a classroom and this were the first lecture. However, this will be shorter than a class period because it doesn't have to be any longer, and we're not bound by the same constraints as happen in the classroom when we're tying up a room for a certain period of time. During this little lecture, in addition to showing you the textbook and the workbook, I'm going to be showing you two other things. One of them is a one-page PDF that tells you in overview form how the course works. This course is conducted in a rather unique way, not much like the courses that you might have taken in an online format or in a classroom format, but a format that I think really fits this subject matter very well and hopefully will fit your own time schedule very well. So that first sheet you can download. I'll give you the address. The second page that I'll go over with you is page 3 in the workbook, and I've also prepared a separate sheet that you can download of that if you wish as a checklist of your assignments. There are 10 assignments altogether, and I will go over that on the one-page sheet that exists as page 3 in the workbook. By the way, this class used to use additional assignments in the way of online exercises. The class no longer uses the online exercises, and in the current revision of the workbook, version 4, that is the 4th edition, I've eliminated the exercise content. However, I haven't had a chance to replace all the videos yet. So some videos that you see might talk about exercises, online exercises. There are none in the class, and you can ignore any of those references. So without further ado, let's take a look at the textbook, the workbook, the one-page sheet that I've referred to that I will email to you as well as make available for download that describes how the course works, and also the checklist of assignments which you can also download and which exists as page 3 in the workbook. Here are the books that you need for the course. This is the required textbook, and you can buy it at Amazon or use a used copy. You can find one in a public library. Any edition of this book will work. This is the required workbook. You need the 4th edition, and it's free for download this term at the course website. All your assignments are in this workbook. A lot of supplemental reading is in there. The instructions for your reflective essay are on page 50 to 54. So definitely download this. It's in PDF format, and you should be able to read it in a full-page format, or even in a format that shows 2 pages, 2 facing pages, which is the same way that you would read it if it were in print. This is a one-page overview of how the course works. I've attached this to an email to each student who is registered as of September the 1st, but it's also available for download at the course website. Make sure you read all the paragraphs in this. It's only 1 page long. As this indicates, and this indicates it. The course website is located at this URL. Here's what you'll learn in the class. Here's some information about the books and the supplemental reading, the way the course is organized into 4 units, and the assignments in each of the 4 units. The unit summary forms are your written homework. The essence of all this is that the facts you collect there, I help you get correct and get complete so that they're available for your reflective essay. And I do that by making these assignments repeatable. You take your best shot at it, you submit it to me, I give you an initial score and feedback, You can then revise it and resubmit it for regrading. Might raise your score. In fact, most of the time it would. But the important thing is it helps you understand the facts you'll need to be able to weave into your reflective essay so that they're available for your conclusions work. No quizzes, no midterms, no group work in this class, no discussion boards. Discussion takes place between you and me. And the final exam consists of two parts: a reflective essay that you can work on all during the term. Pages 50 to 54 of the workbook describe that. And conclusions work that I'll assign in the last 12 days of the term. It's important that you understand that the conclusions work, which functions as a take-home final, is how the conclusions are developed. That is, how any conclusions relate to your reflective essay. You don't write conclusions in your essay. It's a first-person story. That's different than a research assignment. This is kind of unique for academic writing. But I think it's much more relevant because it gives you three opportunities to demonstrate that you can do critical thinking. An essay by itself would give you only one opportunity to do that. I give you the conclusions. You prove that they're either correct or incorrect, drawing facts from your essay. I do suggest that even though you can set your own schedule in this class, that you plan on getting the essay and the conclusions work done 5 days before the ultimate work submission deadline, so that you do have a chance to receive feedback from me and revise any of that work if necessary. The last sentence here just mentions something I've also mentioned in the video. Typically, 2/3 of the students in this class earn A's or B's, but some earn C's, D's, and even some fail. And the main reason for failure, in fact, I would say just about the only reason for failure in this class, is not doing the work. And if you wait too long, it becomes harder to do all the work. So you set your own schedule, but keep to your own schedule. That's important. This is page 3 of the workbook. It's an assignment checklist. It tells you how much each one of these assignments is worth. It may look like there are actually 11 assignments, but note that each unit has just a unit summary form and a project. The only reason that the first unit has what looks like a third assignment is I'd like to see the first page of your reflective essay using the facts that I've already given you on Lascaux, on the example on page 4. I want to see that you've caught on to this being a first-person story and not an academic essay. So I need that first page only in the first unit. After that, I suggest that you continue to develop your essay as you pass through the various eras that you're going to write about. But I don't need to see the drafts on those. You can share them with me if you'd like to get some feedback, but that's fine. That has to come in with your conclusions work near the end of the term. So you see, there really are only 10 assignments. 8 assignments spread across the 4 units, then your essay, which is the first part of your final, and the conclusions work, which is the last part of your final. In closing, I hope the materials that I've shown you in this brief lecture help you understand how this course is organized. Your first task is actually to download the confirmation of participation form, which exists on the course website. You complete that with the schedule that you choose to use for the assignments that come in the first 4 modules. I call them units, the first 4 units of the course. I suggest 2-week intervals on those, that is 2 weeks on each of the 4 units, and then 2 weeks to finish your reflective essay and your conclusions work. However, you can adjust those dates within the guidelines specified on the confirmation of participation form. You can adjust the dates to suit your own purposes so that in case things are coming up on weekends, or you have a midterm that you have to worry about, or perhaps several midterms, or papers and assignments in other classes, you can schedule the completion of those units so that you don't have to have undue stress in completing the amount of work and the time commitments that you've set for yourself. If you have any questions or problems, please feel free to contact me from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. any day of the week. You can use text, and I have provided you the phone number, my cell phone, or you can use email or voice, or if you wish to have face-to-face communication, we can work out a Google Hangout method of doing that. In addition, This term, for the first time, I'm trying a kind of an experiment. I'm going to make myself available from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the computer for what I call instant feedback sessions. And that will be on Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., and on Sunday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Feel free to contact me anytime, but at those 6 hours in particular, you will have a much better chance of reaching me, and if you submit something during that time, I can give you some immediate feedback on it. It's the closest thing I can do to office hours, this being a fully online course. But don't hesitate to contact me any day of the week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm here to help you do as well as you possibly can. One piece of advice, don't put off doing the work. It's real easy to let things slide by in a class like this because you don't have the pressure of an in-class session where I might be harping on the amount of stuff that you have or have not turned in. In this class, it's kind of up to you. You have to be self-disciplined, as I've described in the one-page handout, because of the fact that you can respond to my feedback and revise and resubmit your assignments. The grade distribution curve in this class usually is pretty heavily slanted towards A's and B's. However, some students always manage to get C's, some get D's, and some even fail the class. In spite of all the opportunity to do well, they fail the class because they just haven't done the work. So please try and be in that 2/3 of the class that does very well, and not in that bottom 1/3 that seems to have a problem even getting started. Bye-bye, and good luck. I hope you enjoy the course.